Hello everybody and welcome to a new season of Crypts, which is sponsored by Raycon, and we will talk about them in a little bit. Now, it's been a while since you've seen me. You may have heard my voice on the Pop 5, but I have been out there gathering horror stuff here and there as I could over the last several months, and I can't wait to share some of those things with you. So on today's episode, I am going to take you back in time, before the internet, before CGI, and before wholesome children's entertainment. The 80s, my friends, was the Bronze Age of horror, a glorious era that unleashed enough monsters to fill a Trapper Keeper.
Hi, Jeffrey.
How'd you find me?
Easy. I just followed your notes.
Guess I'm a loose leaf loser, huh?
You need a meat Trapper Keeper. It comes with Trapper folders that trap papers in so they don't fall out. I've got a trapper for every subject, and the Trapper Keeper holds them all with this Velcro closure and tough new Duracell construction. Whoa.
Think Mead makes a locker-sized Trapper Keeper?
To get the Trapper and Trapper Keeper, you need a Mead. And look for the money-saving coupons on these Mead products.
Now, personally, I prefer the 90s, mainly because of the music, and, let's face it, the cartoons were far more superior. Batman the Animated Series, Spider-Man, the X-Men series, top-notch stuff. In the 80s, we had Freddy Krueger clawing his way into our nightmares, and Jason Voorhees turning Camp Crystal Lake into a permanent kill zone. And despite the R rating, we found our ways to watch those films as kids. And guess what? We loved it. Now, studios became savvy to the buying power of kids, well, our parents, and they began marketing toys and products to us. Every toy line had its own Saturday morning show to entice us to buy those toys. And let's be honest, some of those shows were questionable. And I'm talking to you, Hasbro. 1986, Transformers the movie? What you did there wasn't right just to make a bunch of new toys. A bunch of us are still scarred from back then. However, parents took a stance on horror movie toy lines, seeing that the Kenner's 18-inch Alien Xenomorph and Matchbox's Talking Freddy were pulled from the shelves. Toy companies still found a way to our gateway drug, which was horror. Madballs, a mashup of bouncy fun and gross-out horror, Boglins with their slimy textures, bulging eyes, and toothy grins, and Garbage Pail Kid trading cards that were an epitome of gross-out cool, but tame when compared to the flesh-ripping gore fest of Dinosaur Attack cards. Movies were no different. Those hard PG-13 films that warped little kids' minds like Gremlins and brought on the R rating also catered to kids. Fast forward to 1988 and a cult classic film was released which took our fear of clowns and cranked it up to an 11. Killer Klowns from Outer Space wasn't just a movie, it was a portal into childhood paranoia which caused years and years of therapy for some. Now, Killer Klowns is also a great example of why physical media is so important today, because the movie bombed in the box office and didn't find its following until it was released to VHS, which exploded into a new life for the film. But that didn't mean we got merchandise for it. In fact, it took decades before we would see any merchandise release, and in 2012, we got our first figures, Tiny and Shorty, from Amok Time Toys, which is also my favorite place to shop over the last 10 years. Last season we talked about Spirit Halloween's exclusive merchandise and them feeding my fix for Clowns collectibles, but we've recently seen some new figures hit shelves with NECA and Trick or Treat Studios throwing a monster mash of action figures into the ring. And let me tell you, my collecting willpower has just been violated in the best way possible. Now, I swore off adding a new line of figures to my collection, which is practically a shrine to everything that is NECA, which you may have seen in the collection tour. Video should be popping up right around here. But then Trick or Treat Studios waltzed in like a hockey masked Jason and dangled a shiny 5-inch action figure line in front of me. Talk about a nightmare come true for my wallet. And it gets worse, or better depending on your plastic addiction. They also unleashed a Scream Greats series, an 8-inch figure line of pure slasherific glory featuring the Killer Klowns. I heroically tried to resist these action figures like they were slashers wielding chainsaws and machetes at me, but then fate intervened. Well, a sneaky buy one get one sale came up, and here I am now diving headfirst into this terrifyingly awesome new collection, which I plan to keep at 3. Well, I thought it was going to be 3, and then by the time I finished writing this, I saw that they announced another 3 Killer Clown figures into this series. For now, let's review Shorty, Slim, and Fatso and see if I was suckered into purchasing them. We're going to start with Shorty. Now, I already own the Amok Time Toys version of Shorty. Slim is just way too expensive at this point to pick up, so you can see here, this is what the back of the package looks like. Here's what the front of the package looks like. These retail for $34.99, so we're going to pop this sucker open. First thing we're going to do is going to give it a sniff test, see if it has that good new toy smell before we get to the other ones. Now, Scream Greats Series 1 includes Michael Myers, Candyman, Farmer Vincent, Jacob Atkins, and Pumpkinhead. When I went to the store, they had Farmer Vincent. I didn't really care for the way it looked. I wasn't too impressed with it because these figures do not have articulation, and quite frankly, some of the figures, like Candyman, look like they're more for little kids. No offense, Trick or Treat Studios. Alright, so one plus about this thing is we don't have those annoying zip ties that we have to undo. Sniff test. It's got a little bit of smell. Let's see here. He moves his arms up, his head turns, legs don't move. Now the one cool thing is this little piece of hair here, I can hold on to it where it comes off on the other one. It's got a little bit of a weight to it, so let's take a look here. Let's compare it against the two. As you can see, got a little bit nicer pop in colors, where this one is a little bit more realistic looking, especially when it comes to the face. So here you can see we have a little bit of aging on the face, where it's just a plain white makeup on there. So it's got the gloves on there. Now, Shorty also comes with, for the Amok Time Toys, it also comes with the gloves so you can swap out the hands. No accessories that comes with this version of Shorty. Not bad, not bad. So now let's move over to Slim. Much bigger figure, so I do appreciate that we have some scaling here. That's always a plus. Slim does come with a gun. Let's see here. This, for being a bigger figure, it's actually lighter than Shorty. And this plastic does feel a little bit cheaper. Doesn't even feel like it's almost the same line there. Alright, so we got the same thing. We got a little bit movement here in the arms. Hands turn, head turns. I like the minigun, it's pretty cool. I like the coloring on the minigun as well. So let's see here. Oh boy, gotta force that gun in there. Alright, so there we go. Then we got Slim. And now we're going to move on to Fatso. He also comes with a gun, only one accessory. Oh my god. So the figures get bigger and lighter for some reason. So again, it has that cheap plastic feel where the first one does not have that. Not really much of a toy smell, so that kind of ruins it a little bit. But here we get to put the gun in, see if it's as hard as the other one. There we go. Hands turn. Very little movement on the head. Again, the plastic feels a little cheap, so when it comes to... Oh, look at this. His arm does go up and down. Just noticed that. It's got a hinge there. Now, compared to all the other lines that I have, so I do have some McFarlane Movie Maniacs. I have NECA, like I mentioned. I have the Mug Time Toys. And I have a couple other lines here and there that just... They make these figures, and they're the only ones that make the figures, so you gotta pick them up if you want them in your collection. I like it because it's the Killer Klowns. I would not be enticed to go ahead and pick up any of the other figures in it, because like when I did see Farmer Vincent, he did look pretty kind of cheap in the package. We do have Rudy Jumbo and Spiky coming out, so I will get those just because I like the Killer Klowns. If I didn't like the Killer Klowns and I was just collecting figures, I would not be picking them up. So $34.99, I do not really think that it's worth that. I would say, I'm not really caring for the texture on that. The Shorty has a really cool texture when it comes to the clothes. The other two do not, so I wish they would have kept the same kind of craftsmanship with those other two figures. I would not be buying this figure line, to be honest with you. I'm not really impressed with it. That's kind of why I tried to avoid it a little bit when I started seeing the packages, but again, that buy one, get one sale just lured me in, and I said, like, alright, well, I'll add them to my collection. It won't be displayed with Shorty inside the cases, but it'll be displayed with the other Killer Clown stuff. I would say, if you're not a major Killer Klowns fan, maybe hold off on this collection and see what pops up with NECA, because they're doing the Toonie Terrors for Killer Klowns, and I don't know if they're going to do maybe their own Ultimate figures. That I would probably lean to buying and even trading these in for. So, yeah, there you have it. So, we have the Scream Greats series from Trick or Treat Studios, $34.99 a piece. I'm glad I got it on buy one get one, because I don't know if $34.99 is really the price that I would go for it. Maybe $20, maybe $25 is pushing a little bit, because like I said, this guy's got some weight, and then we just gradually get lighter as they get bigger, which is a little weird. So maybe it was to cut expenses. Who knows? Whatever it is. So again, this is a new season of Crypts. This is our debut episode for season 3, so be sure to tune in for the upcoming episodes that we drop. As a horror film nerd, when I am looking to capture the thrills and chills of the movie theater experience at home, nothing is more important than setting the atmosphere with quality sound. And if I can't watch at my home theater because of the sounds of chainsaws and people screaming or waking up the neighbors and calling them to call the cops, I need a pair of earbuds that not only captures the experience, but also picks up all the small details in the film that you will not hear with standard earbuds or headphones.
Showtime!
I know what you're thinking. You don't need to spend money on earbuds when you can go out there and get a $10 pair of earbuds. I was the same way. That is until I plugged in a pair of Raycons to listen to some music, and I was blown away from the immersive sound that only further highlighted what I was listening to. So I decided to put Raycon to the test, harking back to my Blockbuster and Best Buy days with the movie Joyride.
Girls, show them.
What are we supposed to show?
You're a fan of Cardi B, right?
Yeah. Is she here?
No, not the comedy from 2023, but the 2001 film about when two brothers go across country to pick up a girl, but decide to play a prank on a random truck driver. But when that prank goes wrong and a man ends up dead, that truck driver ends up kidnapping the girl and sets a fatal trap where somebody is not walking out alive. You may have seen this film before, but did you truly experience the tension that is built up through sound? You wouldn't have if you didn't have quality speakers, and here are some of the things that you missed that you can put Raycon to the test for too. There are smaller sounds like the latch of a wooden door as it's opened. And then we see Venom pulling pins from her chair and dropping them on the carpet while struggling to free her hands from the tape. The sound of a gunshot echoing throughout the room. These are all little details that you cannot hear if you do not have a quality set of earbuds. These earbuds are sure to satisfy any audiophile looking to get lost in a viewing experience, or listening to music, or just being lazy and needing to answer a phone call instead of pulling out your phone from your pocket. Now, don't tell Jen that I've switched away from her present that she got me last year of another brand's earbuds that cost almost 3 times the amount of these Raycons, but the comfort level, the ease of use, and the sound quality is perfect for me. And you can switch too by using the code NERDBOX in the link in the description below, and you'll get 15% off of your first pair of Raycons. So definitely go and check them out. Put them to the test. Try out Joyride. Try out War of the Worlds, the scene where we have the airplanes flying over the mountain. You'll be surprised on how great these actually are. Don't forget, if you have a plastic addiction just like I do, then you need to like this video. You need to drop a comment on it. Let me know what your favorite 80s cult classic film is. Let me know if you like Killer Klowns. What's your favorite scene in the movie? And are you picking up this series? Or do you pick up any of the other action figures out there? What do you like to collect? And am I the only crazy one that likes to give a little sniff test when you're breaking it out of the package? I know I'm not insane. My son does it too. So anyway, until the next episode of Crypts, see ya.